Se me ha acabado el presupuesto para dubstep y partículas. Así que aquí la tenéis, la intro de Necro for Fun.
El puto amo.
Vale, cambios de quality of life.
Systemic updates, so I'll talk through them. Paragon migration is more just a reminder on how the new Paragon system works. All of the Paragon experience that you've earned in a season is actually at the end of season 6 going to be added to your Eternal Realm Paragon.
Sí. Está diciendo que el Paragon, una cosa que va a pasar es que cuando termine la season se va a ir a estándar.
230 on a season, all of that 230 worth of experience is going to get added to your Eternal, which probably is going to level up your Eternal Paragon.
Hasta ahora,
I mentioned this because we added the really
Hasta ahora el Paragon era de personaje.
Soul Stone. I kept calling it the Vessel of Hatred Crystal, but it's a Soul Stone. That really cool Soul Stone that you get at Paragon level 300, you can actually earn that on Eternal. So if you're not willing to sort of put in hundreds of hours to get that in a season, you can work your way there on the Eternal Realm as you sort of cash in these seasons. So we think that's going to feel pretty good.
It's going to be really nice as you're like
dice, si no entendió mal, dice que básicamente el Paragon cuando termine la season se va a ir a estándar y que si tu ilusión es alcanzar nivel 300 y no tienes el tiempo necesario para alcanzar nivel 300 dentro de una season, no te calientes, hazlo en no season. Cada season o toda la experiencia que vayas ganando se va a sumar en no season, con lo cual, si tu objetivo es alcanzar 300 de Paragon, hazlo en no season. Pero eso no significa que cuando empiece la season vas a tener el Paragon, empiezas de cero, como tiene que ser. Empezar una season con 300 de Paragon es una cagada.
The floor is going to be tied to the amount of greater affixes that are on that item. So if you have one greater affix, the floor is going to go up a little bit from the 1%. When you get 4 greater affixes, it's going to go up quite a bit. It's not exactly perfect because we wanted to maintain the sort of specialness of a 4GA with a perfect unique rule. We've seen some of those on Reddit, and I think it's always such a cool moment to sort of see those drop. But it's going to be a substantial increase to the power of the floor. So it's going to be nearly impossible to get a 4GA with a really crappy...
Acaba de salir una y quieres ya noticias de que va a pasar en 2 años.
It's always great getting a 4GA and then like
and then rolling
1%.
¿Se sabe algo de Path of Exile 3?
That always just feels bad. You never want to be comparing like, oh, I got 4GA. Well, my 1GA1 is maybe better because it has a better unique roll. That wasn't a moment we felt was really enticing, so we wanted to make sure that the more GAs you get, just the better the item
los
is,
ancestrales caigan más y además de eso lo que son los poderes maxeados también.
And then I'm going to talk about one thing previously on that, which is ancestral legendaries.
Han hecho un cambio en los glifos. Ahora las fallas de nivel más alto siguen escalándolos. Ya el nivel máximo para elevarlos no es el 100. Si haces una 150 sube más.
Rank 21 is usually where they end up landing. Now ancestral items, when they drop, they're going to be at the top end of that. So you should always be pretty excited when an ancestral drops because it's always the best sort of top end ranks of that legendary power that could drop.
Yeah, we saw lots of conspiracy theories on Reddit. People going like, "Hey, I think like my Codex of Powers not getting updated correctly or something like that." We totally understand. Like there was a lot of confusion behind it. We admit that on our end, and this just makes it easier and better for players in being able to grab it. It's not Colin behind the scenes on a computer like it was. It actually was. He was literally just like making sure you got the lowest aspect rolls or anything like that.
Sí, lo de los ancestrales está siendo un planteo. Llevar 200 horas y no tener rasgos maxeados o llevar unos guantes normales es una cagada y es porque el drop de ancestrales está siendo bajo y porque los rasgos están cayendo muy poquito.
They're not going to be raining from the sky, but it's definitely
dice que no van a caer del cielo, pero que desde luego lo van a incrementar, que han sido un poco duros con la chance de que caigan y que lo van a mejorar. No queremos ir tan lejos como para que no sea especial que tenga un ancestral, pero va a ser más común. Y que ya no solo caen en Tormento 4, que va a pasar en todos los tormentos. Que ya pasaba, solo que en Tormento 4 era más grande el drop. Esto va a estar el 21 de enero, Season 7. Pero lo vais a poder probar el 3 de diciembre en el RPP. ¿Qué dices, Taco?
¿Cuánto tiempo?
Una semana, 7 días. Del 3 de diciembre al 10.
Once you get into the torment, so it's a really nice way for us to sort of make sure that you're never hitting a point where you just have so many gem fragments. They're worthless, right?
Awesome, yeah.
And then the next one I think is going to be I'm super excited about, and that's class quest updates. They're going to work similar to Altars of Lilith, right? Do you have more details on that?
Yeah. So class quest. So most classes or every class has this, special mechanics. So like on Sorceress, you've got your enchantment slots. And in the past, when you hit level 15, you'd get a quest where you had to go and help out a mage to find
Cambia las
a lost
evoluciones
home.
de las ascendencias personales de cada clase.
That, you are going to, if you do need to log into that character first to kind of unlock it across your account. But once you've done that, any subsequent sorceress that you make, once you hit level 15, you're going to immediately unlock that first enchantment slot. And then once you hit level 30,
vamos a hacer que no tengáis que jugar al juego para conseguir las cosas del
for
juego.
every class, the exact level is going to be different. It depends on when that would normally
Si
unlock.
el mago a nivel 15 les bloquea la misión para desbloquear sus encantamientos, si ya lo tienes con uno, ya lo tienen todos.
There will be a pretty juicy reward if you do choose to do it, but you're going to get that mechanic right off the bat.
¿Cómo?
That's awesome.
Cuando tú alcanzas el nivel 15 con un mago, te desbloquea la posibilidad de hacer la especialización. Vale, pues si ya lo tienes con uno, te hace un save como que tu cuenta ya lo tienes bloqueado y nunca más lo tienes que desbloquear.
Pero una vez y ya dura para toda la eternidad.
I have definitely forgotten.
Eso acaban de decir.
On my necromancers for a little longer.
Acaban de enseñar el Armory.
Tienes con todos los personajes, ¿no?
Acaban de enseñar el Armory.
As they raise their hands up in the air. But the next update is obviously a big one, which is finally we don't have to say this is development still because Armory is coming with Season 7 patch 2.1.
¡Ay, qué rico!
So, Colin,
Decían que iba a tardar.
¡Ay, qué rico!
Request. We had to dive super deep into the forum. That one guy who asked for this is for you. I'm just kidding. This has been a super hot requested feature. We're excited to bring it to everybody. So everybody's going to get this update. Armory is going to allow you to save builds. It's going to save all your equipment, all of your skills, all of your Paragon, all your Paragon glyphs. You can even name it. And what this really allows you to do is be a lot more flexible in the end game, right? So if you're really liking your fireball build, but you got this really sweet ball lightning unique, now it's really easy to just save.
Se ve bastante mal la interfaz, se ve bastante cutre, pero hace lo que tiene que hacer. Te va a guardar el Paragon, te va a guardar lo que le guardéis los glifos, te va a poner las habilidades, los ítems.
You save it, it's yours. It's even come with some
cool la gloria, ¿no?
No, para mí es una cagada. Yo no lo habría metido en el juego, pero hay mucha gente que estaba llorando por esto.
Literalmente tú juegas 7 bits.
Ya, pero yo no tengo 7 espacios en el inventario. En esto. Esto es para gente que usa 2 builds, una para hacerte 16 o Tormento 4 y otra para pushear. Y todo lo que hace es que va cambiando entre esas 2 builds. Como yo uso para todo diferentes builds todas las semanas, a mí esto no me sirve de nada. Pero yo sí.
Explore all the new build possibilities that we introduce every season with the new items and updates.
Sí, con 20 o 30 huecos yo sería feliz. Pero teniendo en cuenta que esto luego el equipo lo tienes que guardar en el alijo, a mí me falta alijo ahora. Pero está bien, está muy bien que nos lo den.
Or if it's in your inventory, you don't have to worry about it. We'll just swap it out for you.
Yeah, it'll just it's auto-magically does it, which is really nice.
Te guarda el...
It makes it as easy as
Ojo,
possible for players to be able
cambiar
to
entre diferentes builds
feature,
no va a costar oro.
Cool. So yeah, we're super excited. We're really leaning into the flexibility. That's why we just
removed. O sea, vamos a hacer rotación de bosses. Te pones la build de one shot. Vamos a hacer farmeo de T4. Te pones la build de Bade. Vamos a pusear un ratito. Te pones la build de Salva de Cálamos. Y vas alternando entre las diferentes builds. Me gusta.
In PTR, we really need people to actually test it. It's a brand new feature. There's a lot of complexities behind it. Obviously, it's pulling things from your stash, pulling things from other inventories, etc. So
me
gusta. Make sure that players actually
lo de abajo, editar, guardar, borrar.
Give us feedback. It's something that we're going to continue.
Los 3 botones de abajo eran editar, guardar, borrar.
One thing I do want to call out is in PTR, it won't have controller support. It will have controller support when we do launch it with
sobreescribir,
patch 2.1, the
editar,
final patch itself. But
grabar,
PTR,
cambiar nombre, lo que tú quieras.
There won't be controller support on it, so I just want to caveat that now for players that are actually that do play on controller to note that it won't be there for that specifically.
A ver, se agradece.
Tons of changes coming for Season 7. Obviously, all the class changes, the ultimate changes that Charles talked about. The balance and items related to that. New rune words. Reworked rune words as well. We have, of course, all the Season 7 stuff that Dan talked about with the witchcraft powers. And, of course, the gems, the occult gems. So we want players to actually jump in and try those out. And with all the quality of life fixes that we do have. So I know we do want to jump into Q&A.
Yo te lo traduzco. Está preguntando si ahora vas a parar de ver Diablo para ir a ver Poe.
Sí.
Sorry, I forgot about PTR updates. I can't even follow my own agenda that's like sitting here on a piece of paper.